It's an unbelievable feeling. We set out, and our motto this year was again. We knew we had the pieces to the puzzle to go out and repeat as champions. The foundation that these kids inherited from players before them, such as Tamara Young, Meredith Alexis's, Andre Benvenuto's, and what they've done, they've taken it to a different level. So I'm so proud of them. And, I had a meeting with them, and I think they probably remember it, very early in the season, and things weren't going well. And I brought them over to the side, and I told them that I will sacrifice sleep, I will sacrifice a lot of time to make sure that everything goes right so they can go out and win a championship. But they had to meet me halfway, and they did that and then some. So to be able to come in here today against a very, very talented Delaware team, it was very gratifying to come away with a win as a championship, send these kids out in the right way. As far as the game, you give credit to Delaware, playing 4 games in 4 days to get to this point. They upset the number 2 seed, the number 3 seed, and they're a very talented team. And we always, as a coaching staff, we were talking about, they're almost built for tournament-style basketball because they wanted to value every possession. And we knew it was going to be a slower game than we had wanted. But our kids did a fantastic job, especially early. Dawn and Courtney really had it going, opened it up, really wide open, forced them to go to a zone. We got a little bit stagnant. I think fatigue set in a little bit. We were careless with the basketball a little bit, but we held off their run and hit a couple other big shots. Courtney hit another 3, and then Dawn hit another 3 and really stretched the lead out. But just overall, their performance all weekend. I think Dawn's probably got a bump and a bruise on every part of her extremities, but she fought through today and did a good job. Courtney Hammer's been playing fantastic all tournament, even before that. And Lauren Jimenez, one of the reasons we get mad at Lauren so much early in her career is because we knew she was capable of games like this. And when she's in the game, she makes us a much better basketball team. But I'm proud of the fact that, she's able to go out and play 32 minutes yesterday and come back tonight and play 29 minutes. I don't know if old Lauren would have been able to do that. But now, she's able to do that, and we're a really good basketball team. So very proud of them. I couldn't be happier for a group of kids, and we're going to really enjoy this championship. Well, to do it 2 in a row, it's going to do a lot for everything. The program for these kids, and one of the things that these kids mean so much to me, and it's not just talk. They have listened to me. I have yelled at them. They have believed in me. They've gone the extra mile. They've been perfect student athletes. I think the only thing I've ever gotten after them about is not boxing out. I don't have to worry about them, going off and representing the university in the wrong way. They're great role models. So if anybody deserved it, they did. And to be able to win a second championship in their senior year, it's just fantastic. But it will help. It will definitely help in recruiting. It'll help in a lot of different things. It helps when I get to go into my AD's office and ask him for new stuff. It helps all over the place, and I will be asking him for new stuff. But it helps all over the place. So, but for right now, really, that's the bigger picture. Right now, the picture is all about these kids and them being able to experience the NCAAs again. It was tremendous. It was tremendous, and we knew all along that Courtney had that capability, and that's why we stuck with Courtney all year long. And she and I had shooting sessions. She and I had conversations, and I don't think I ever told her once not to shoot the basketball. If anything, I've always told her shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, because all of her shots seemed like they were hitting the front of the rim or the back of the rim, and she was close. And we knew that she was capable of stepping up and hitting 4 or 5 threes in a game. And today, and she picked a great time to do it today. And it really opened so many things up because they weren't able to focus on Dawn as much. They weren't able to stuff in on Lauren as much. And, she just really helped us, tremendously. And I was very proud of her, very happy for her, too.
Towards the end of the first half, it got a little messy. And I think you've talked about a lot with these seniors is that you don't have to worry about them overlooking letdowns. It seemed like they kind of took over and didn't let, you guys continue to slide down and kind of hold on.
Well, it's human nature, and they're human, and what they do, they'll get on a run, and they're energetic, and they're fantastic, and they'll be the first ones to tell you. Sometimes they just lose a little bit of focus, and they'll make a turnover that they probably shouldn't make, and I'll admit it right now. I think fatigue set in a little bit. They got a little bit tired, and we went to a very short bench today, and they made a couple of what I call bonehead plays, and it allowed them to come back and cut the lead. But one of the things we always like to save our timeouts at the end of the game and I can do that because they're such an experienced group, and that's all. I can look at Dawn and I can just look at her and it seems like she understands exactly what I want. I can look at Courtney, and if Courtney makes a mistake, she'll turn to me before I even look at her, and she's like, okay, I got it. And so they understand it, and that's all I have to do is give them a look, and we don't have to use a timeout. And then they regrouped, did a good job regrouping. And when we went on that run at the end, when Courtney and Dawn hit successful threes, the thing I told them coming out of the timeout was play. Play. And some people might say, well, don't you want to run some clock? No, play. We had an advantage in this game when we were running. And to go toe-to-toe against their set zone defense, that's not in our advantage because they're long. They're very long. And we wanted to run, and that's when Courtney got open. I don't know if Dawn hit her, somebody hit her, and then Dawn found a crease and was able to hit a three and was able to stretch the lead out for good.
Kenny, you guys obviously did a great job on Elena, which obviously you needed to do 6 for 20 from the field. Just what do you think about the defensive job did on her?
It was stellar, and it was a team effort. But I thought Nikki Newman was fantastic, really getting into her and making her work for everything. You're not going to stop Elena Deladon completely. And she's a phenomenal player. She's very talented. She's 6'5", legitimately. And she's going to make her shot. She's going to get her opportunities. But I thought our awareness of where she was at all time was fantastic. And I thought that was led by Nikki. Nikki did a fantastic job. I thought the other kids, when they were ball screens set for Elena, we did a really good job of forcing her way out and not letting her get comfortable. One of the things we saw yesterday against UNC Wilmington was when she was coming off ball screens, she was very comfortable and rising up and hitting her shots and knocking them down. That was a concentrated effort that we had not to let her get comfortable. And we talked about it. When she makes shots, don't hang your head, how unbelievable they are. And I think probably one of the things that helped us is we saw her score 54 points on us. And so, we know what she's capable of doing, so we're not going to hang her head if she makes a tough shot. And I think that really paid dividends for us.
Dawn, yesterday, not so hot today, it seemed like you couldn't miss.
I felt good today. Like I said yesterday, I tried not to hesitate, and when I shot my shots, I was just knowing they were going in. So I just felt good today.
What's the most important thing you learned about your team?
That we can kind of push through anything. It got hard. Three straight games of basketball is difficult for anybody, but my team has heart, and to do it with the big target on your back from winning it last year makes it even more special for us.
I noticed you were taking your hand and kind of shaking it out a little bit. Just both your right hand.
Both of my hands hurt.
What's wrong with your hand?
They're just bruised up from falling and getting hit. So something that needs to just be rested. That's all.
How much does that affect you? In particular, it looked like you were having a little bit of difficulty controlling the ball when you've taken hard to the basket, right. and maybe even when you were trying to execute a spin move, looked much more comfortable just coming off your hand on a jump shot.
Well, as a point guard, you have the ball in your hands a lot, and when you have a whole bunch of tape in your hands, you lose kind of feeling for it. So, I tried to overcome that, but that's the only difficulty is you don't have all the senses that you usually have without being taped.
Courtney, I'm going to write it eventually, but just what we talked about earlier, it felt like your shots were always so close. Just in the tournament, you seem to really find your shot. Just talk about the tournament and what felt so good and how are you able to finally get something to go?
I feel like it all comes down to just confidence and hit a couple. I've just had to keep, if I miss, I just have to keep remembering to just keep shooting, and Coach Brooks always just never tells me not to shoot. So I think it just comes down to mental, like just being confident in all my shots.
Dawn, sometimes it's in a big moment, it's hard to savor it. Are you savoring? Did you savor today with the fans behind you, parents and standing?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's my senior year. I'll never have another conference championship. A conference championship to win. So I'm definitely it's sinking all in right now. But I don't want it to go away so quick. I want to be able to savor in the moment.
Can you talk just about the neutral site? What were some challenges as a coaching staff to have to be a neutral site, and just your thoughts on being
Well, the arena I thought was very adequate for the fact that it was very cozy, and you could hear the fans, and you felt like they were on top of you. Yeah, I think anytime you have a tournament, you go to a neutral site, you're going to have some challenges, and I think the only challenge that we had was the travel. The travel was about 25 minutes, no traffic, and that kind of altered the way that we prepared. We didn't take shoot-arounds at all because we knew it would have been 25 minutes here for a 20-minute workout and then 25-minute drive back. So we just felt like it wasn't worth it. We walked through our sets and stuff in the hotel and a little ballroom. But that was pretty much. Oh, and then the cheerleaders that were at the hotel, they were something else. There was 7,000 cheerleaders in our hotel. Oh, it was a lot. It felt like 30,000. But other than that, it was fantastic. I thought the neutral site, the proximity for us worked out because we were able to have fans to come here and follow, and so it was good for us. If it can't be at the Convocation Center, this is very adequate for us.
Don, your situation has been very well documented for the past year and a half. Does it, knowing what you dealt with this year, seeing the weakness, Kenny mentioned bumps and bruises from head to toe, does that make this any more gratifying to be sitting up here as now a two-time conference champion?
Without a doubt, and I don't want to mislead anyone to think that I'm extremely ill, but I do deal with some fatigue, and so, the people behind me and the way that, Coach Brooks and I and our team physician have worked things out in a way so I can have a good regimen as far as practicing and my medications. It feels good because, people put some doubt in their mind because of that, for that very reason. So to be standing here saying that we want to see a championship facing all this adversity, it means a lot to me.
Laura, could you just talk about your defensive effort today as a team and especially in the post?
I think Nikki Newman and Lauren Whitehurst did a great job on Deladon, and our game plan was pretty much to slough off a bunch of their post players, especially when Deladon was coming across screens. And so, I feel like that worked out. We didn't let her go to any position, any spots that she wanted to go to for her to run her plays. So, we kind of got into her. They have a good team. The other players could score, so we just had to make sure just to get back into them and not lose sight of them sometimes. And rebounding was the key. We couldn't let them get second chance shots at all.
Were you worried about fouls at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's in every coach's contract to say, hey, there's a discrepancy in fouls. Hey, we've only shot this many free throws. And I said it. It doesn't mean anything, but we needed to be more aggressive. I thought we didn't attack them as much. And when you're hitting from the outside like we were, then it's going to be a discrepancy in free throws. But, yeah, it got a little hairy towards the end, and kids getting in foul trouble. And poor Jaleesa Taylor really couldn't get into a rhythm because it seems like as soon as she went in there, she got in foul trouble. And, big kudos to her. We got the other three seniors here right now. But, she steps aside. I had her and Courtney in my room last night, and I told them that one of them wasn't going to start, just because, not because of the way they played, but because we needed Nikki Newman to start off on Deladon. And she gladly stepped back, didn't say anything, and he wanted to do whatever she could for the team. But fouls, it got a little sketchy towards the end, but we still were able to play through it.
Just to continue, I know Nikki threw Deladon the first time the 54-point game. Just have you seen any development with her? Because she always seems to draw your hardest defender.
Absolutely. When there's a wing, Nikki does a fantastic job. She did a great job on Nasa Scate as well from Drexel, really just bothering her because she's long. She's a legitimate 6'2", and she's long, and she can move her feet. So she does a great job. And when we played Delaware at our place, we watched that film, and Nikki was backing off of her like she was playing against somebody from Spotswood High School. And I'm like, you can't do that with her. You got to push up, and you got to make her. You got to trust your teammates are going to be there. And then the last game, she did a much better job, but she still got in foul trouble. This game, this was, obviously her best effort against Deladon. And I just thought she made her work. She made her work extremely hard for everything and took some stuff away for her. So as much as Courtney and Dawn and Lauren were effective for us on the offensive end, Nikki was just as effective on the defensive end.